Why do people in Mediterranean countries live longer and suffer fewer heart attacks, even though they eat bread, pasta, olive oil, and cheese almost every day? For decades, this was called the Mediterranean paradox. How could a diet rich in fats and carbs actually protect the heart? The answer lies not in calories but in chemistry. The Mediterranean diet is rich in monounsaturated fats, antioxidants, omega-3s, and plant compounds that heal arteries from the inside out. It lowers bad cholesterol, calms inflammation, and keeps blood vessels flexible, the three pillars of a strong, youthful heart. In this video, you'll discover the real science-backed secrets behind the world's most heart-protective diet and how you can apply them starting today. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional medical advice. The Mediterranean paradox: why fat isn't the enemy. For years, doctors warned us that fat was the enemy of heart health. Yet in Greece, Italy, and Spain, people consume olive oil daily, and their rates of heart disease are among the lowest in the world. How can a diet rich in fat actually protect the arteries? The secret lies in the type of fat, not the amount. The Mediterranean diet is built on monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, mainly from extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. Unlike saturated fats from processed foods and red meat, these healthy fats lower LDL bad cholesterol, raise HDL good cholesterol, and reduce arterial inflammation, the silent trigger for most heart attacks and strokes. In Mediterranean populations, these fats don't cause artery blockages. They actually help prevent them. The difference isn't just nutritional, it's biochemical. What's happening inside your body? When you eat foods rich in monounsaturated fats, like olive oil or avocados, they alter how cholesterol behaves in your bloodstream. LDL particles become larger and less sticky, meaning they're less likely to attach to artery walls. Meanwhile, HDL particles become more efficient at sweeping excess cholesterol out of your arteries, a process known as reverse cholesterol transport. At the same time, olive oil's polyphenols, especially hydroxytyrosol, act like antioxidants, preventing LDL oxidation, the key step that turns cholesterol into arterial plaque. As a result, your arteries stay flexible, your blood pressure lowers, and your heart pumps more efficiently. Doctor Insight. The pre-DIME study, one of the largest cardiovascular nutrition trials in history, followed over 7,000 adults at high risk for heart disease. Participants who followed a Mediterranean diet, enriched with extra virgin olive oil or nuts, had a 30% lower risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from cardiovascular causes, even without reducing calories. Dr. Ramona Struck, the lead researcher, explained, "It's not just about eating less fat, it's about eating better fat, the kind that nourishes the arteries instead of clogging them." Another groundbreaking study, the Lion Diet Heart Study, found that patients recovering from heart attacks who adopted a Mediterranean-style diet had a 70% lower chance of a second heart event. Real-world example: imagine a 55-year-old man replacing butter and margarine with olive oil and adding a handful of almonds each day. Within a few months, his LDL cholesterol drops, his HDL improves, and his blood pressure stabilizes, all without medication. His cardiologist calls it a lifestyle prescription in a bottle. How to do it safely. Use extra virgin olive oil as your main fat, in salads, cooking, or drizzled over vegetables. Eat a handful of nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios 5 times a week. Avoid hydrogenated oils, margarine, and processed snacks. Don't fear calories from healthy fats. They come packaged with antioxidants and nutrients that your heart thrives on. Did you know? Replacing just 5% of your daily calories from saturated fat with olive oil can cut your heart disease risk by up to 25%. The Mediterranean secret isn't low fat, it's smart fat. When you feed your body the right oils, you don't just lower cholesterol, you reverse the chemistry that causes heart disease in the first place. Polyphenols and antioxidants, the artery armor. Imagine coating your arteries with an invisible shield that blocks inflammation, oxidation, and plaque buildup. That's exactly what the Mediterranean diet does, thanks to its secret weapon: polyphenols and antioxidants. Every heartbeat pumps oxygen through your body, but that same oxygen also produces free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells and blood vessels over time. This process, called oxidative stress, is one of the main triggers of heart disease. The Mediterranean diet is uniquely rich in antioxidant compounds that neutralize these radicals before they can attack your arteries. These compounds, called polyphenols, come from olive oil, red wine, fruits, vegetables, herbs, and whole grains. Polyphenols don't just protect your heart indirectly, they actively improve endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract smoothly. When your endothelium is healthy, blood pressure stays normal, arteries remain flexible, and your heart doesn't have to overwork. What's happening inside your body? When you eat foods rich in polyphenols like olive oil, grapes, or tomatoes, their antioxidants enter your bloodstream and begin neutralizing free radicals. This protects the LDL cholesterol particles from oxidation, stopping plaque formation before it begins. At the same time, these compounds boost the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. With better nitric oxide levels, your circulation improves, your blood pressure drops naturally, and your heart muscle receives more oxygen. Key Mediterranean polyphenols include hydroxytyrosol in olive oil, one of nature's most powerful antioxidants; resveratrol in red wine and grapes, linked to longer lifespan and vascular health; lycopene in tomatoes, reduces arterial stiffness and inflammation; quercetin in onions and apples, improves capillary strength and blood flow. Each acts like a guardian molecule, protecting your arteries at the cellular level. Dr. Insight, according to a study in the British Journal of Nutrition, people with the highest intake of dietary polyphenols had a 37% lower risk of cardiovascular mortality. Dr. Cristina Andres Lacueva, a leading researcher on Mediterranean nutrition, explains, polyphenols are not vitamins. They're active plant compounds that directly communicate with our genes and cells, switching on the body's own defense systems. Another analysis from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that extra virgin olive oil's polyphenols significantly improve endothelial function within just 4 weeks of regular use. Real-world example. A 60-year-old woman adds a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to her morning smoothie and a cup of green tea in the afternoon. Within a month, her blood pressure readings improve, her cholesterol ratios balance out, and her doctor notes enhanced vascular elasticity, proof that tiny changes can have cellular-level impact. How to get it naturally? Choose deep-colored fruits and vegetables. The richer the color, the higher the antioxidants. Use extra virgin olive oil instead of processed oils. Drink red or purple grape juice if you don't consume wine. Add herbs like oregano, rosemary, and parsley. They're loaded with polyphenols. Cook tomatoes with olive oil. It enhances lycopene absorption. Did you know? A tablespoon of olive oil contains over 30 different antioxidant compounds that begin protecting your arteries within hours of eating. The Mediterranean diet doesn't just feed your heart, it fortifies it. Every meal is like polishing your arteries with antioxidants that keep them smooth, clean, and resilient against time. Omega-3 power, fish, nuts, and a balanced lipid profile. If there's one nutrient your heart can't live without, it's omega-3. And the Mediterranean diet delivers it in abundance, from the sea, from the land, and from the healthiest sources on earth. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential fats your body can't produce on its own, yet they play a vital role in heart health. They lower triglycerides, prevent blood clots, reduce inflammation, and even stabilize heart rhythm. Mediterranean eaters get omega-3s from fatty fish like salmon, sardines, anchovies, and mackerel, as well as from nuts and seeds, especially walnuts and flax seeds. These foods create a biochemical shield for your arteries, balancing your lipid profile and keeping blood flowing freely. Omega-3s don't just improve cholesterol numbers, they change how your heart behaves at the cellular level. What's happening inside your body? When you eat omega-3 rich foods, your body uses these fats to build the membranes of every cell, including heart and arterial cells. The result? More flexible, resilient blood vessels that can expand easily under pressure. Omega-3s also regulate the balance between pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory molecules in your bloodstream. This keeps your arteries calm instead of constantly irritated, a critical factor in preventing plaque formation. They also reduce the production of triglycerides, a type of fat that, when elevated, thickens your blood and accelerates artery damage. And perhaps most importantly, omega-3s make your platelets less sticky, reducing the risk of clots that could block blood flow to your heart or brain. Inside your heart muscle, omega-3s stabilize electrical activity, reducing the chance of irregular heartbeats, one of the silent precursors to cardiac arrest. Dr. Insight, a landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine, found that people who consumed omega-3s regularly had a 45% lower risk of sudden cardiac death. Dr. Dariush Mozaffarian, a cardiologist at Tufts University, explains, omega-3s have broad effects. They improve cell membrane function, reduce inflammation, and lower triglycerides simultaneously. It's like tuning your heart to run smoother and longer. The pre-dime trial also showed that participants who ate fish at least 3 times a week had significantly lower rates of stroke and major cardiac events, even when their cholesterol levels were similar to others. Real-world example. A 58-year-old woman who replaced fried chicken with grilled salmon and added a handful of walnuts to her breakfast saw her triglycerides drop from 200 to 120 milligrams per deciliter in 3 months, all without medication. Her doctor called it a textbook example of omega-3 therapy through diet alone. How to get it naturally? Eat fatty fish at least 2 to 3 times per week. Add a handful of walnuts or 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed daily. Use extra virgin olive oil instead of vegetable oils high in omega-6s. If you don't eat fish, talk to your doctor about algae-based omega-3 supplements. Avoid deep-fried or processed fish. Heat destroys beneficial fats. Did you know? 1 serving of sardines provides more omega-3 than a fish oil capsule, and it's paired with calcium and vitamin D for added heart protection. Omega-3s are the quiet engineers of heart health. They rebuild your arteries from the inside, calm inflammation, and help your blood flow like it did decades ago, smooth, steady, and strong. Fiber and gut health, how the microbiome shields your heart. The secret to a healthy heart might actually begin in an unexpected place, your gut. The Mediterranean diet doesn't just feed you, it feeds the trillions of bacteria inside your digestive system that silently shape your heart health. Your gut isn't just for digestion, it's a complex ecosystem known as the microbiome that communicates directly with your brain, immune system, and even your cardiovascular system. When it's healthy, it produces compounds that lower cholesterol, control blood pressure, and reduce inflammation. The Mediterranean diet is packed with soluble fiber, prebiotics, and plant compounds that nourish beneficial gut bacteria. These microbes transform the food you eat into short-chain fatty acids, SCFAS, natural substances that protect artery walls, regulate metabolism, and prevent plaque buildup. This is why researchers call the gut the body's second heart. When your microbiome thrives, your arteries stay calm, clean, and flexible. What's happening inside your body? When you eat fiber-rich foods like beans, lentils, oats, fruits, and vegetables, your gut bacteria ferment that fiber into SCFAs, such as butyrate, propionate, and acetate. These compounds travel through your bloodstream and reduce inflammation in blood vessels. They also lower LDL cholesterol by signaling your liver to make fewer cholesterol particles. Meanwhile, fiber physically binds with cholesterol in your intestines, carrying it out of your body before it can enter the bloodstream. This dual action, microbial and mechanical, helps keep your cholesterol and blood pressure in check. A healthy gut microbiome also prevents the production of trimethylamine N-oxide, TMAO, a harmful compound formed when gut bacteria digest red meat and eggs. High TMAO levels are directly linked to heart attack and stroke risk. The Mediterranean diet, rich in plants and low in processed meat, keeps this toxin at bay. Dr. Insight, a 2021 study published in Nature Medicine showed that people who followed a Mediterranean-style diet had higher levels of beneficial gut bacteria and lower levels of TMAO, correlating with significantly fewer cardiovascular events. Dr. Ana Valdez, a metabolic health researcher, notes, the Mediterranean diet nourishes your gut in ways other diets can't. The result is not just better digestion, it's measurable protection against heart disease and metabolic inflammation. Another meta-analysis found that eating 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily can lower LDL cholesterol by up to 15% and reduce the risk of coronary heart disease by 20 to 25%. Real-world example, a 50-year-old man adds one serving of lentils and an apple to his daily meals. Within 2 months, his digestion improves, his cholesterol drops by 18 points, and his blood pressure normalizes. He didn't just change what he ate, he changed what his gut bacteria were doing for his heart. How to get it naturally? Eat whole grains, beans, and lentils at least 4 times a week. Include fruits and vegetables with every meal. Add fermented foods like yogurt or kefir for probiotics. Avoid processed foods and artificial sweeteners that disrupt gut bacteria. Drink plenty of water. Fiber needs hydration to work effectively. Did you know? Your gut bacteria can influence your blood pressure within just 14 days of changing your diet. A heart-healthy diet starts in your gut. Feed your microbiome with fiber and plants, and it will return the favor by keeping your arteries youthful and your heart strong. Blood pressure balance, the secret role of potassium, magnesium, and nitrates. If high blood pressure is the silent killer, then potassium, magnesium, and nitrates are its silent healers, and they're the unsung heroes of the Mediterranean diet. Blood pressure isn't just about salt, it's about balance. The Mediterranean diet naturally restores this balance by flooding your body with minerals that relax arteries, remove excess sodium, and support heart rhythm. Unlike processed Western diets that overload you with sodium, the Mediterranean pattern emphasizes vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and olive oil, all naturally rich in potassium, magnesium, and dietary nitrates. These nutrients work together to dilate blood vessels, reduce arterial stiffness, and maintain fluid balance. That's why people following Mediterranean diets often have healthier blood pressure without medication, even in older age. What's happening inside your body? When you eat potassium-rich foods like tomatoes, spinach, beans, and oranges, potassium helps your kidneys flush out excess sodium. Less sodium means less water retention, lower blood volume, and reduced strain on your arteries. At the same time, magnesium acts like a natural calcium blocker. It helps blood vessels relax by preventing calcium buildup in smooth muscle walls, the same mechanism used by some blood pressure medications. Then there are nitrates found abundantly in leafy greens and beets. In your body, nitrates convert to nitric oxide, NO, a molecule that tells your arteries to relax and expand. More NO means better circulation, lower blood pressure, and greater oxygen delivery to the heart. Together, these nutrients fine-tune your cardiovascular system like a well-calibrated instrument. Dr. Insight, a clinical trial published in Hypertension, found that increasing potassium intake by just 1,000 milligrams per day lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 3.5 millimeters of mercury while reducing stroke risk by 11%. Dr. Lawrence Appel, a leading cardiologist, explains, potassium and magnesium are nature's antihypertensives. They counter sodium's harmful effects and directly improve vascular function. Meanwhile, another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that eating 1 cup of leafy greens daily can improve nitric oxide levels enough to reduce blood pressure within 2 weeks. Real-world example, a 62-year-old woman with mild hypertension adds a daily salad with spinach, chickpeas, olive oil, and lemon. After 1 month, her blood pressure drops from 140/88 to 124/78 with no medication changes. The reason? Her diet naturally restored her sodium-potassium balance and nitric oxide levels. How to get it naturally? Eat leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula every day. Snack on bananas, avocados, or nuts. They're rich in potassium and magnesium. Add beans and lentils several times per week. Drink beet juice or include roasted beets in meals. Use lemon and olive oil for flavor instead of salt. Citrus enhances nitrate absorption. Did you know? Just 1 serving of spinach can increase your body's nitric oxide production by over 30% within hours. The Mediterranean diet keeps blood pressure balanced not by restriction, but by nourishment. It replaces what modern diets deplete, giving your arteries the minerals and molecules they need to stay open, flexible, and calm. Inflammation control, Why Mediterranean meals heal at the cellular level. What if heart disease wasn't just about cholesterol or blood pressure, but inflammation? The Mediterranean diet's biggest strength isn't just in lowering fat or sugar, it's in calming the invisible fire that slowly damages your arteries. Chronic inflammation is now recognized as one of the main causes of heart disease. It's the body's silent alarm, triggered by stress, processed foods, refined oils, and excess sugar. Over time, this constant low-grade fire inflames artery walls, attracting immune cells that create plaque buildup. The Mediterranean diet naturally extinguishes this fire. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, polyphenols, and fiber, it suppresses inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor, TNF-alpha, all linked to atherosclerosis and heart attack risk. This isn't just about what the diet removes, it's about what it adds. It gives your body the tools to heal itself from within. What's happening inside your body? When you eat Mediterranean-style meals, olive oil drizzled on vegetables, grilled fish, nuts, and legumes, your cells receive a balanced mix of anti-inflammatory nutrients. Monounsaturated fats from olive oil reduce the production of pro-inflammatory molecules derived from arachidonic acid. Omega-3s from fish transform into resolvins and protectins, compounds that actively switch off inflammation once it has served its purpose. Polyphenols and flavonoids from plants neutralize free radicals, preventing oxidative stress that triggers inflammation in the first place. At the cellular level, this diet influences gene expression, literally turning down the genes responsible for inflammatory cytokines. Your arteries respond by becoming calmer, more elastic, and resistant to plaque formation. Dr. Insight, a clinical trial published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, found that people who followed a Mediterranean diet had lower levels of CRP and IL-6 within just 3 months, independent of weight loss. Dr. Montserrat Fito, a lead researcher from Spain's Hospital del Mar, explains, this diet modifies inflammation at the genetic level. It reduces oxidative damage, stabilizes plaques, and lowers cardiovascular risk, not just by changing cholesterol, but by changing cell signaling. Similarly, the pre-DIME study showed that participants consuming olive oil, rich in polyphenols, had significantly lower inflammatory markers compared to those consuming refined oils. Real-world example, a 59-year-old man with early signs of heart disease adopts a Mediterranean-style diet, cutting red meat, sugar, and refined grains while adding fish, olive oil, and vegetables. Within 6 months, his CRP levels drop by 40%, his energy improves, and his blood pressure normalizes. His cardiologist calls it anti-inflammatory nutrition in action. How to do it safely. Use extra virgin olive oil daily. Its polyphenols fight inflammation directly. Eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times a week. Fill half your plate with colorful vegetables, natural antioxidants. Snack on nuts, seeds, and fruits instead of processed food. Limit red meat and sugar, the biggest triggers of arterial inflammation. Did you know? 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil daily can lower your C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker, by up to 20% within a month. Inflammation is the hidden spark behind heart disease, and the Mediterranean diet is a nature's extinguisher. Every bite calms, repairs, and renews your arteries, proving that food can be the most powerful heart medicine of all. Doctor-approved Mediterranean eating plan, simple, realistic, and science-backed. You don't need to move to Italy or Greece to protect your heart, you just need to eat like they do. The Mediterranean diet isn't a strict meal plan, it's a pattern of living that nourishes your arteries day after day. This heart protective plan focuses on whole foods, good fats, and daily plant intake, providing a continuous flow of antioxidants, minerals, and fiber. Each meal gently lowers inflammation, improves circulation, and keeps blood pressure balanced. The exact trio that shields your heart. Morning. Start light, start anti-inflammatory. Breakfast options. Oatmeal with berries and walnuts, or Greek yogurt with flax seeds and honey drizzle. Science. The fiber from oats lowers LDL cholesterol, while nuts and seeds provide omega-3s that stabilize heart rhythm. Dr. Tip. A tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in the morning supports nitric oxide levels for better blood flow throughout the day. Midday, fuel your arteries, not your waistline. Lunch options. Grilled salmon with lentil salad or chickpeas tossed with olive oil, garlic, and spinach. Science. Legumes' soluble fiber improves gut bacteria and reduces cholesterol absorption. Olive oil's polyphenols protect artery walls from oxidation. Dr. Tip. Replace salt with herbs and lemon, natural nitrates and potassium balance blood pressure better than sodium ever could. Evening. Calm the inflammation. Dinner options. Brown rice with roasted vegetables and olive oil, or baked mackerel with tomatoes and arugula. Science. Fatty fish provide omega-3s that lower triglycerides and CRP, while vegetables deliver antioxidants that neutralize free radicals overnight. Dr. Tip. A small glass of red or purple grape juice offers resveratrol, a compound shown to improve endothelial function. Daily habits that heal. Use olive oil as your main cooking fat. Eat fish or legumes at least 4 times a week. Enjoy fruits and vegetables at every meal. Snack on nuts instead of chips. Share meals slowly. Stress reduction is part of the Mediterranean secret. Did you know? People who follow the Mediterranean pattern for just 12 weeks can lower heart attack risk by up to 30%, even without losing weight. The Mediterranean lifestyle isn't about restriction, it's about balance, pleasure, and nourishment. Every meal repairs your arteries a little more, helping your heart beat stronger, longer, and freer. Conclusion. Your heart doesn't just need less, it needs better. Better fats, better food, and better balance. The Mediterranean diet proves that health and pleasure can coexist on the same plate. From olive oil and fish to nuts, grains, and colorful vegetables, every bite works like medicine, reducing inflammation, improving cholesterol, and restoring blood flow to your arteries. This isn't a temporary plan, it's a lifelong partnership with your body. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one habit, swap butter for olive oil, add a handful of nuts, or eat one more serving of greens. Small choices build powerful protection. Because when you eat like your heart matters, your heart starts to heal itself. Disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional medical advice. Like to spread heart awareness. Subscribe for more doctor-approved videos. Share to help someone protect their heart naturally. Thank you for watching.